Yes, welcome back everybody. It's Watea Valley. It's Farming Simulator 2017 as we continue our journey here, and check that out. We've got high demand for soybeans and I'm going to sell them. In fact, this is going to be a sell episode because I'm after a new harvester, a combine harvester, to add to my existing one. Something that's going to help us get those fields done a little bit quicker. And you've probably already noticed I've put this commentary in as I just about swipe out that car. I'm putting this commentary in after I've done all the gameplay. It seemed to work pretty well last time. I'll do it again. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm not. As we empty out our soybeans here at our newish Kia farm drop-off point or sell point. But yeah, I'm really keen to get another harvester, something a lot wider than the existing one, because it takes an absolute age. And here I go, picking up some more. And this time I'm going to go across, going the wrong way, get back. This time we're going to get into the corn. I've got 87,000 left, and I don't want to take all the corn because I need to leave some for the pigs. They need that for their pig food, but I will look at selling this load of corn. In fact, there's a high demand for corn, so that's why I'm selling it. Look at this. I love these lights at night here at the Kia farm selling point, the tipping point right here. We're back at it again, obviously. Got into it's nearly midnight. And I actually had a bit of a shocker here as we're about to discover, and the fact was that the the high demand for corn was actually at Goldcrest Pacific Grain. It wasn't at Kia Farms, and I realised about 2/3 of the way of emptying out this trailer that I had indeed chosen the wrong place to dump it off. I finally, here we go, here's where I realised, looked at it, oops, that is a bit of a mistake, let's turn that off. So what I needed to do is go back to the farm, and I'll fill this trailer back up with all but about 10,000 litres or 15,000 litres of corn, just so I can sell as much as I can at the higher rate. And if we just go here, we check out that that's more than halfway, so it's about 8,000 is what for 6 days worth of corn. Sorry, let's start that again. The pigs need about 8,000 litres of corn, which will last them 6 days. So I could go ahead and fill this up, and I could fill the trailer up about 75% full. And you can see on the right hand side there the canola grown along quite nicely. But we get into Pacific Grain here. And as you saw before, the corn that I sold at Kia Farm, which was nearly a full trailer load, I got about $20,000 for. And this particular trailer here, 75% of it, I got 29,000, so definitely missed out on a lot of money there, which I was pretty gutted about. So I made the big decision. I've been waiting for ages for silage to get up, but I thought, let's just get in here and get rid of as much of it as we can. And we've got our Libra here, our front loader with this stupidly large bucket on the front of it, and this thing carries 30,000 litres at a time. And I'm just going to empty out this silage pit. Well, as much of it as I can, at least. Look at that, it's all over the place. And I tell you what, I actually drove past a Libra dealer the other day. I was over the other side of Auckland in New Zealand here, and I was over the other side of town. There was a Libra, I hope I pronounced that correctly by the way, a Libra seller, and these things are big. They are really big. So if this bucket is rocking them all over the place, it's got to be pretty massive and pretty heavy. So there we go, $11,073 from that particular bucket load. I've got 0.4 hours on this particular front loader, and once and it's on lease. That, if you remember from last episode, I've got it on lease, so you've got to watch out for that, because as soon as it ticks over to 1 hour of engine time, it's going to charge me another whole lot of money to lease this thing. So I'm going to try to get as much of this done, the silage pit done, without going over an hour, because I don't want to pay an extra amount. I think it's 11 or 12,000, something like that, but I prefer not to. I think I'll get most of this done anyway. Well, I can say that because I know I do. That's with the benefit of hindsight. This is one of the advantages of commentating afterwards. I won't actually probably make this a habit of doing this, and what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just speeding up time to get the amount under 20,000, and that way I can tip in my entire bucket. But yeah, I won't. I'll probably starting next time. I'll go back to commentating it as I play it, because I know exactly what happens. So in this episode, it makes it quite difficult to commentate. Anyway, here we go. Here, a few hours later, or whatever the time was, I wasn't looking. And as you can see, $319,000 we're up to. So it's a massive amount of money. Well, a lot of money, put it that way. And that's what the great thing about silage, and you've got to get into it. Silage is fantastic. It's relatively cheap to get into, and you can definitely make some decent money. And when you look at the amount of money per time invested, it is quite decent. But look at that, 5,704. I have crashed the market. And look at that, $186 per 1,000 litres. It's usually over 500 when you haven't done anything. So I absolutely crashed the market there on silage. So continuing the tradition of selling as much of my stuff as I can, and you can see in the background there, canola's ready to go. So I really need to pick up the pace here and get my new harvester, although I could start harvesting that field with my other combine, but I don't really need to. Got plenty of time. So what I'm going to do is sell some bales, because a full load of bales is worth about $9,000 there or thereabouts, something like that. So there we go, get rid of those. Fantastic, that's my first load. And through the magic of editing, here goes my second load. And further through the magic of editing, here goes my next load. And I had a shocker there, dropped half of it into the front. It's got to be lined up properly. And there we go. Well, there we go. Now, I jumped the gun. Okay, so the other thing I decided to do was I put a couple of loads of milk, because I had a bit of honey there for our honeybee farm. And so I threw a bit of honey in there, threw a bit of milk in there, and I had enough here. I think it was for 2 loads of honey milk. So dropped that off, sold it at the selling point, and yeah, the honey milk's been going quite well. I haven't done the sums. It was actually at high demand when I sold this particular honey milk, so I haven't done my sums and figured out what's the most economic in terms of selling milk individually, you know, at night through the midnight auto sell, or whether combining it with honey for honey milk is better. But anyway, it's fun making. So sold those 2 loads of honey milk, and we're getting very close to 400,000, as you can see, top right hand corner there. So I had a bit of wheat there. This wasn't a high demand. Watch out there, boy. And I'll just go off road, it doesn't matter. That's what happens. I've got a bit of pace up, so I'll get past that car quite nicely. But let's get off down to, where did I end up going? This is a bit I can't, there we go. We went into Goldcrest Pacific Grain and sold that wheat there, but it wasn't on a high demand. It was normal price, but hey, I just needed some money to top up, so I had enough. There it is, over 412,000, and the result is coming up. There it is, everybody. We've got the Russell Mash, I think it's pronounced. It's the Torum 760. Look at this beast. I love it. It's wide. It's got 12,000 litres of capacity, which is about twice as much as my other one. It's about twice as wide and twice as much capacity. Look at me in there. I'm loving that, that's for sure. So this is going to come in really handy. So what I'm going to use it for a start is to sort out the headlands on all the fields, and then my other guy, I'll set the worker off and he can start chomping through some of the middle parts of the field. But you know, as we cut, and I can't remember what happened. Oh yeah, trying to get through here. I thought it was going to be a mission actually, but I just squeezed through, which was awesome. But yeah, I'm going to do the headlands here using this for a start, and in that way my other harvester, I can just get it going without having to worry about running into the ditches. And that's why you've got to do the headlands here in Watea Valley, because it's easy to run into the ditches. The workers do, at least, because it just goes straight off the edge here. You need to give them plenty of headland. And there I am, getting rid of the canola. And if you just look in the background there, I think I did 3 sweeps. Now, one thing I realised was I got 5 fields here, 3 different crops, and one trailer wasn't going to work with 2 combines in action. So I decided to go ahead and buy, I was tossing up between these 2, but I thought, let's go for the one that's got 15,000 litre capacity. That's more than enough in the meantime, just to be able to put headland crop in or whatever. So you've got a couple options here, wide tyres. We ended up going with standard, but I grabbed that trailer. The good thing about this particular trailer, it's a tipper obviously, is that my tractors can easily pull it. So that was the purpose of that. So I pulled that up there, and that just gives me a little bit more flexibility rather than having to run back with really small loads because I'm changing between crops. So we grab our big beast here, the Taurum 76. I love this thing, it is outstanding, and having used it for a while during this episode, as you'll see, it saved a lot of time, I tell you. And to be able to get these headlands here, you can see those ditches I was talking about to the right hand side there, and if you don't give the worker enough headland, he drives straight into those and gets stuck. So give them plenty of headland, and that's what I'm doing right here. Okay, and we're just tipping out the soybeans from... I just did one pass on the headland for field 4.2, we've named it. It's sort of a one field into two. And just did one sweep of the headland because I was going to take the yellow New Holland combine a bit of time to get those other fields completed, and I thought I'd probably end up manually doing this particular field using this combine. So I thought no need to really do a massive headland in the meantime. But anyway, here we are rocking up to field number 5, which actually has wheat planted, and so I'm going to set the worker off to give me a nice straight guiding line for a start. We'll just line it up to the left hand side here enough to make sure that we get the best possible angle, and go ahead and no, let's not start yet because we have got to enable our straw swathe. I don't know, haven't got an E, it's probably swath, is it? Swath. I think we've been here before and I didn't decide what it was, but yeah, we let our worker do that first strip. That gives me a nice guiding line to then do the headlands. So yeah, it's away. Back into the truck because we've got just the last of the headland soybean here, and I'm going to use this trailer to collect the wheat in the top field there. As you can see over to the left hand side here, we've got our New Holland and our other small tipping trailer doing a nice job over there, and they work together quite nicely. Okay, so I had a bit of time and a little bit of extra cash, and my beehives were busily being made, so I needed another bee house. So this will be the 4th one there. So this is really going to ramp up our production of honey, which will give us options because we can either, once again, we can either combine it with milk to make honey milk, or we can sell the honey straight off themselves. So I actually had a beehive from a while back that had been completed, and I just held off until I bought my harvester and stuff like that. I held off building my bee house. There we go, Butterfingers right there. So yeah, it's yeah, the bee thing's been going actually pretty well. I quite like it. It's a lot of fun. We'll throw that in there. And as we go back here, you can see 36 in that one. 36. Oh, they're all about the same because I grabbed as much as I could when I went to sell the honey milk. So yeah, beehive's going well. Look at this shot. I thought I'd throw this in here. Look at it. Outstanding. Okay, here we are, and we're finishing off field number 5. And obviously with the straw swath on, it's going to give us the opportunity to make some straw bales. Pretty full looking combine right here. So we'll just finish off the last of this little bit here. But one thing you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, is it's still light. It's what, 7:41 p.m. 1941, 24-hour clock for those playing at home. And there's absolutely no way I'd get these fields done this quickly, but having this harvester, which is obviously twice as big, as well as the other one in action, really helps. And you know, the harvesting part of it's a really important part of my farm, even though it's not the main part as such. It's definitely important. And look, yeah, I had my wheat silo was pretty much full, so I decided to sell this last load rather than take it back because it wouldn't fit. But yeah, the harvesting is definitely a big part of what I do, and I wanted to be able to create some efficiencies and get it done quickly, so that's what that harvester definitely helped me do. And we dropped off the last of that wheat there, and what did they give us? 23 grand. Thanks very much. Get in there, boy. And here, oh, look at this. Here we are, working in unison, the 2 combine harvesters. Love it. We got this little field done. It sort of was started by the New Holland, the yellow TC90. But once I got the big boy in there, we finished it off real quickly. Really quickly, I should say. And here we go. He's backing himself down in the ditch. I had the worker going here. So I jumped in. I wanted the glory of completing that final little strip of soybeans. And there over there, we've got our New Holland just sitting there, having done an absolutely sensational job. But definitely a lot slower there for sure. But in the end, what actually happened was the little yellow guy, he did actually field 2, field 3 and field 4.1, the middle of it, he did that all himself, and the big guy did all the headlands, field number 5, the biggie, and also this one here, sort of half of this field here. So it actually worked out really well, and like I said, look, it's approaching 8 o'clock at night, still light. I think I started, I can't remember, I'll have to go back and have a look. But yeah, started late afternoon, so to be able to get all fields harvested, absolutely brilliant. I'm absolutely stoked with that. So a great purchase, expensive but well worth it. And as we move ourselves into a good position here, and guys, that's pretty much it for this episode. I want to say a huge thanks very much for watching. As usual, make sure you smash your like button down below, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, everybody, of course, take it easy.